Welcome, everyone. I'm Thomas Panic, the President and CEO of Guiding Eyes for the Blind. You've come to a very special place at a very special time, and that is we get to celebrate graduation for our students who 2 weeks ago came into this room from all over the country, Canada included, Vancouver, and had an expectation and a hope that we would provide them with a guide dog to enable them to go forth in life and achieve their dreams. And 2 weeks ago, they got the names of their dogs, and I promised class, right, that we would give you the most amazing guide dog, and I believe that is true and happened here today. For some of the students, we started with the basic, here's the head and here's the tail. With others, they were returning guide dog and very experienced users that have had many guide dogs in their life, and they're adjusting to this new partnership. And fortunately, they get to learn from each other. And that's one of the wonderful things about coming to Guiding Eyes to be in class. It could not be done without our trainers in the room and all of the trainers that trained these dogs to get them to the point where they were handed over to the student. So I'd like to thank you all for training these wonderful dogs. A warm round of applause for the training team. Our Director of Training is Gerald Brenningmeyer. Gerald, please stand up. Oversees our training for everybody. So on my leadership team and has an incredible amount of experience and trained many of the trainers that then trained the trainers. It's a teach the teacher model. And we're very proud of that. We also had our placement specialist in class today. So we had Michelle Tang. Michelle, warm round of applause for Michelle. And we had Mick as well, Mick coming into class. And Dan, thank you for all your hard work as well. So I'd like to also just recognize a couple of special guests that are in the room today from our board of directors. Our board is a volunteer board. It's a board that is dedicated not only their time, but their treasure to support Guiding Eyes for the Blind. Without your guidance and support, we couldn't do the work that we do. So we have Andrea Redmond coming out of Chicago. Thank you, Andrea. We have Eduardo Andrade, and he's coming out of Westport. And you all know John Donnelly. Where's John? Yeah. I would say New York, but now Florida, somewhere in between. With that, I'd like to invite John to come up here and say a few words. I'm putting you on the spot, John, so here we go.
Well, first and foremost, I'd like to echo what Tom said. First of all, I'd like to congratulate the students, and I wish you many years of great partnership with your new friend. I'd like to thank our training staff. They're really, I don't know how they do what they do, but when you see these dogs and from the beginning and where they end up today, it continues to amaze me years and years later. Those of you who raise our dogs and volunteer to do that for a year, we cannot thank you enough. We need more of you. And God bless you for what you do. And God bless you for turning that dog over after a year so it can do this wonderful work for other people. I'd like to thank, we have some special guests here today that our good friend Myra Biblowitz invited, folks who are interested in helping Guiding Eyes in different ways. And so I want to welcome you and thank you for spending time with us today. I'd like to thank everybody who helps Guiding Eyes in different ways, from producing shows for us to everything else that's done. So thank you all, and thanks to the team. Who's following me? Rebecca, you're on. There you go.
Thank you. Hi, everybody. Thank you, John. I'm Rebecca Cross. I'm Director of Donor Relations, and the dog doing apparently push-ups here is Regal, my guide dog. She's a beautiful black lab female for those of you graduating today. And we've been a team for 7 years now. So, you know, I'm so excited for all of you who've graduated and hearing about the different adventures that you will accomplish as your own journeys with your guide dogs. And but I'm really here as in donor relations to talk a little bit about how these dogs are able to be produced on the back end, right? We're a charity. Everything's completely funded by donations. And everything's completely free to every person here. So whether it's coming from the backyard or all the way out from Vancouver. We provide all these guide dogs completely free of charge, and we can only do that through the generous support of our incredible donors. So I want to recognize all of you who've supported in some way, and to recognize all of who have supported financially. Thank you so, so much. And to our old and new friends, we just appreciate you coming here, spreading the word to family and friends, colleagues and neighbors, and to all of you, of course, who put your sweat and tears and love into each one of these dogs. I know Jessica's going to be recognizing you, but thank you everybody so much, and thank you for making each of these beautiful teams possible today.
It's really nice seeing a big crowd here today for a very special day for our raisers, for our graduates, for our trainers, our staff. Good afternoon. My name is Jessica Walsh, and I'm a regional puppy specialist here at Guiding Eyes. I work with all the East regions and provide administrative support to the regions and the regional puppy instructors. I would like to say thank you to all the raisers. Without you, the incredible dogs graduating today would not have made it to this point. Before my current position, I used to work as a kennel tech here at the training school, and as a result to that role, I'm lucky enough to have seen all the stages that pups have endured. It really brings full circle to see a tiny 8-week-old puppy turn into a guide dog like the ones we have in front of us today. As a current raiser, I know the hours and commitment it takes, so I thank you for planning unique outings, keeping your puppy safe, and altering your schedule to fit in a puppy and his or her needs, and so much more. Every puppy raiser is different, but the one thing you all have in common is the love and dedication you put into the puppy you're raising. The dog graduating today are the result of that love. And I'm incredibly grateful to be part of an organization where we have passionate, hardworking, and selfless volunteers like you. There is a quote I would like to share. Never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world. Indeed, it's the only thing that ever has. Margaret Mead. I wish the new graduating teams good luck on their new journey, and it is my honor to express great thanks from the puppy program to our raisers who are here in person. If you can please stand up, and a staff member will hand you a certificate. We'll start with Joyce and Rich Reynolds for Baja. Chur and Jeff Macers for Baja as well. The Miller family for Lenora. David and Julie Albany for Paul. Serena Palafox with Stitch. Joelle Okatree for Stitch as well. Mackenzie, Isabella, and Amy Rive for Timothy. I would also like to announce the raisers of the dogs who could not be here today. If you could please hold the applause. We have Michelle Morrison for Baja, Linda Cross for Lenora, Rebecca Reinhardt for Stitch, Erica and Ron Reed for Angus, and we also have the Brandy Vanesco family for Timothy. Thank you. I'm going to pass it to Michelle Tang now.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Michelle Tang. I'm a placement specialist at Guiding Eyes. For the last 2 weeks, my partners were Mick Billia, Dan Wiesner, along with placement manager Stephanie Corrette. We had the pleasure of working with these 5 teams in front of you. Also, I'd like to acknowledge Jolene Hollister, who ran with Ken multiple times during this class to get him off to a good start with his running. I would like to get started with introducing our first team, Ken and Yellow Lab Paul, also called Polly, and several other nicknames. We'll stick with Polly. Paul is Ken's second Guiding Eyes dog and second experience with our Running Guides program. Ken first came to Guiding Eyes in 2017 and received Yellow Lab Winnie, a swift worker and fast runner just like Polly. Ken has truly brought out the best in Paul over the last 2 weeks, and the transition from Winnie to Paul has been quite smooth. Ken is the president and CEO of AVRE, Association for Vision Rehabilitation and Employment in Binghamton, New York. When Ken is not busy working, he enjoys time with his wife, Amy, children, and grandchild. Ken also loves boating. I'm really hoping Paul does as well. I would love to see those pictures in the future. Also, once home, Ken and his wife will have a challenge keeping up with all the dog hair. They have a yellow lab named Cashew from us. Ken, you have been a pleasure to work with in this class. I'm lucky to have met you and worked with you. I'm also grateful for the next couple of weeks where my shins can recover. And we'll keep in touch. Paul was trained by Izzy Dulesky and Lori Bussey. I'm shaking. Next to Ken, we have Evelyn and her black lab, Lenora, who's being a little spicy. We affectionately call her Nora. Evelyn first came to Guiding Eyes in 2017 as well and received her first dog, a black lab named Ives. Although Lenora is slightly smaller than Ives, she has big energy and keeps Evelyn on her toes. Evelyn has a wonderful, loving nature and quickly bonded with Nora, who also does have a soft side. I would describe both Nora and Evelyn as driven, intelligent, and sweet souls. Evelyn's calm energy has been well received by Nora, her classmates, and her instructors. When Evelyn is not out walking miles every day, she likes to crochet. I'm secretly hoping that one day I receive a beautiful blanket in the mail. Hint, hint. And luckily for Evelyn, she lives pretty close in Maryland, so your favorite instructor can visit anytime. That's me. Lenora was trained by Caroline Walsh, Mary Beth Totaro, and Lori Bussey.
I'm gonna get in. Hi everyone, I'm Mick Belia. I am a guide dog mobility instructor trainee, and this was my first class. Now I will introduce my two students. Next up, we have Richard and his yellow lab, Baja. Although Richard is an experienced guide dog user, this is his first time coming to Guiding Eyes. Baja is his sixth guide dog and is ready to fill the paw prints that were left behind. Baja may be small, but but she's calm, cool, and collected under pressure. Which is exactly what Richard will need for his commute into Vancouver several days a week. Her travel size will come in handy on the many vacations Richard goes on with his husband, Bill. Richard actually flew here for class right after getting off a cruise. It has been such a pleasure to work with Richard over the last 2 weeks and see his partnership with Baja bloom. He is a kind and compassionate person and is always thinking about what is best for his dog, whether that is tucking her tail in for her on a busy train platform to protect it from being stepped on, or letting her shank him with her chewed up Nylabone. I will miss being given an education on all the 80s classics and listening to him and Michelle argue over the lyrics to a Milli Vanilli song, whoever that is. Richard, I would like to welcome you to the Guiding Eyes family. We are so overjoyed to have you. Baja was trained by myself and Catherine Russell. Next to Richard is Julianne and her black lab, Stitch. She is joining us for her 5th guide dog from us, and we are so excited to welcome her back. Julianne's bright, positive attitude is infectious, and I couldn't imagine a more perfect match for her than our happy-go-lucky Stitch. The bond between these two was evident immediately, and to see them work together is similar to watching a team of many years. Julianne works in the Disability Services Office at Temple University and is excited to introduce her new guy to all of her coworkers who recently threw a retirement party for her previous guide dog, Bob. Julianne and Stitch will be returning home to her husband, Jerry, their 2 sons. John, so sorry. My man. I'm going to start an argument at home. their 2 sons, and 3 dogs, including Bob. Julianne also has a daughter who lives locally and has already had the pleasure of meeting Stitch. I feel so fortunate to have had the chance to work with Julianne this class. I think I've learned more from her than she has from me, especially about the band Queen. Our shared love for funny dog toys will have me thinking of you whenever I'm at a pet store. Stitch was trained by Peyton Hubbard and Allie Greenberg.
Lastly, up here, we have Irene Lansing and her Black Lab, Timothy. Irene has returned to Guiding Eyes for her 3rd guide dog, a Black Lab named Timothy, all 3 Black Lab males. From their first walk, Timmy and Irene were quickly connected to one another. Timmy's cautious guide work greatly complements Irene's supportive handling. You can find them cuddle up together in the downtime. And as you see today, Timmy will always be dressed to the nines with his fancy outfits. He has a bow tie. From coffee shops to shoe stores and beyond, this team works beautifully together with large smiles on their faces, both of their faces. I can't wait to hear about your adventures together on your cruises, your girls' weekends, and Timmy, and all of the activities at the Senior Center. Fun fact, this is not going to be the only Timothy at home. She has a grandson named TJ, Timmy Jr., and his father, Timmy. So no matter what, if you can just remember Timmy, I think you're going to be okay. Yeah, you should. Thank you so much for sharing your infectious joy with us every single day. Your confidence truly does show. You know we'll be talking quite soon, my friend, and I really wish you the best with everything with your new boy. Timmy was trained by Aaron Murphy and Mick Bilia. In addition to these 5 teams up here today, we'd also like to acknowledge Karen Robinson of Chicago, Illinois, who's graduating today through our home training program. Karen is a returning graduate who has received her 3rd Guiding Eyes dog, a Black Lab named Angus. She and Angus are a nicely matched team, as Angus is very patient and an easygoing big boy, which is great for Karen. Karen works at the Chicago Lighthouse, and the team has already become the focal point for staff and clients alike. Angus will be a big help for Karen as she navigates through the Lighthouse facility daily, and at home, Angus will surely enjoy a leisurely life, most likely on Karen's sofa. And just maybe, he'll leave her just a little bit of room for her as well. Karen was trained by our regional guide dog mobility instructor, Jim Gardner, and Angus was trained by Chelsea Nohan, Sam Ori, Mary Beth Totara, and Chrissy Vetrano. So thank you so much. From here, I'm going to pass the microphone off for our student graduates to say a couple words. Irene?
Thank you, everyone, for coming. And I really appreciate the puppy raisers. They do so much for these dogs from little to this stage of them graduating. They are truly amazing and put their heart and soul into this. And I'm so fortunate to be able to be here at this time to get this lovely dog that I'll love for a very long time. And to the amazing trainers and staff here also, in hopes that everything will continue to go well, and hopefully best of luck with the new kennel that you're getting built. So thank you, everyone.
I want to say that Guiding Eyes is a community of love that starts from the very beginning up at the breeding facility. As my husband said, the happiest place on earth, because you get to play with puppies. And, you know, to the excellent puppy raisers that I got to learn that Stitch likes to swim, you know, he's gonna have fun at the beach. And, you know, to the excellent training staff, the administration staff here, the admissions folks, the committee that makes this decisions on these choices, And, okay, we can say housekeeping and also kitchen. Everyone's done. It's just a wonderful vacation to come here so I can focus in on learning about my dog and us bond as a team. And for the patrons in the room, thank you, thank you, thank you. Please get a new kennel. They can, and so that they continue all this fabulous work.
Thank you. So picking up on the idea of family and whatever is Guiding Eyes truly is a family, I can see. In 1998, I used to write corny music or music. And so my family had a family reunion. And so I wanted to write a tribute to really the family matriarch, my grandmother at the time. We were doing this thing to surprise her. So it was about acknowledging her and also supporting one another. And it started out like the roads of life is long and never ending. There can be some bumps along the way. That to me describes relationships with our dogs as well too. That it's the road of life is never ending. There are some bumps along the way, but it always turns out, and the dogs actually leave a special place in our heart, and we definitely, like, just as we think we're never gonna recover from the last dog, a new dog like Baja comes into our lives and just fills those empty voids and really makes it great and makes you appreciate a well-trained dog that like the dogs from here. As was said, this is my 6th dog, and I really appreciate the experience and getting to know all the staff here and having the support of the trainers as well too. So it's been really great, and thank you to all the puppy raisers and the donors to the school. It's been great. So this is to Baja, in the words of Michelle's favorite lip syncer singers. Girl, you know it's true. Ooh, 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 I love you.
We are going to present our new graduates with their graduate certificates. Next up is Ken and Paul. Evelyn and Lenora. Richard and Baja. Julianne and Stitch. And Irene and Timothy.
You guys have been absolutely wonderful. Thank you for bringing so much love, joy that has been infectious this entire class. I really enjoyed working with all of you, as of all of us as well. We can't wait to hear about what you have in store for you in the next couple weeks and couple years. Please do not forget us. We love hearing the good stories too, I promise. And also, I kind of want a crocheted blanket as well. So with that, this concludes our graduation ceremony. Thank you all so much for coming. At 3 o'clock, we will have a kennel tour. If you can just meet us in the lobby if you would like to go on, that's where we'll be. Thank you so much.